And as the US-Iran negotiations remain elusive as of now, America boosted its military presence in West Asia with the arrival of the USS George H.W. Bush aircraft carrier. However, the fear of Iran and allies loomed large as it reportedly took a rather different route to reach the region. Let's break this down. First, it was commissioned in 2001. USS George H.W. Bush is a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, basically, which can reportedly carry more than 80 aircraft. It has more than 5,500 sailors and crew members aboard. It is also equipped with multiple defensive weapons to combat missiles, aircraft, surface threats. And now this is the first time since 2003 when 3 U.S. aircraft carriers have been deployed to the region. Overall, more than 200 Navy aircraft and around 15,000 sailors and Marines are now in West Asia, reportedly. If you look at the timeline, the aircraft carrier left from Virginia on the 31st of March. So why did it take so long for it to reach West Asia? If it took the traditional route from the Strait of Gibraltar to the Red Sea, the distance would have been between 14,000 to 16,000 kilometers. However, it reportedly took a detour around Africa, increasing that distance by at least 10,000 kilometers. This is nearly 1.5 times the original route, in fact. While the Pentagon hasn't officially commented on why the aircraft carrier took a longer route, it is seen as a move to avert a possible threat from the Iran-backed Houthis, who have a hold in the Red Sea. Remember, the Houthis have threatened to close the Bab el-Mandeb, which basically connects the Red Sea to the Gulf of Aden. This is one of the world's most critical shipping choke points as well, as it handles around 10% of global seaborne oil trade. And why is this significant? While the US claims to have decimated Iran's military, reports suggesting that about half of the country's ballistic missiles and related launch systems remain intact.
بگرفت که خدای من این جان زینب است قربانی تو است ای مردم تیغ بران ماما نه دشمن تمام
Considering this, can this aircraft carrier actually face a potential threat from Iran's ballistic missile arsenal if the war resumes? In this scenario, Fatah 2 is one of the missiles which presents a threat to USS George H.W. Bush, considered as one of Iran's most advanced precision-guided hypersonic missiles. Fatah 2 has a speed of up to Mach 15 and can bypass traditional air defense systems with an estimated range of 1,400 kilometers. It can reach the Arabian Sea and Persian Gulf. However, it's critical to note here that Iran does not have missiles with real-time satellite intel to actually strike precise targets, reportedly. And as far as the aircraft carrier USS George H.W. Bush is concerned, frigates and destroyers form an impenetrable shield. Only a combined attack of large-scale drone swarms and advanced missiles can actually pose a threat to this aircraft carrier. As part of its retaliatory attacks during the 40-day war, Iran claimed to have used this missile to strike targets inside Israel. The U.S. aircraft carrier's arrival also raising another key question. Is it merely a pressure tactic? Or is it a signal that the US and Iran are ready to resume the war? It is apparent that the next few days will be very critical. The White House has accused China of stealing US artificial intelligence labs' intellectual property on an industrial scale. The development comes ahead of a scheduled summit between US and Chinese leaders next month. The director of the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy, in his memo, accused China-based actors of using proxy accounts to evade detection and jailbreak models to extract capabilities for American AI models. The White House saying that these campaigns enable foreign actors to release models that appear to match US AI capabilities at a fraction of the cost, reportedly. Earlier this year, both OpenAI and Anthropic had stated that China-based firms, including DeepSeek and others, were behind wide-scale distillation attacks on their models, allegedly. Meanwhile, the Chinese government issued a sharp rebuttal to accusations from the White House. It calls these claims entirely baseless and a slanderous smear.
美方有关说法毫无根据。
The US claims are entirely baseless. They are a slanderous smear against the achievements of China's artificial intelligence industry. China firmly opposes this. We urge the US side to respect the facts, abandon prejudice, cease technological containment and suppression of China, and do more to facilitate technological exchange and cooperation between the two countries.
And this war of words coming as the US president prepares for a highly anticipated trip next month to China, where he is expected to push for economic concessions and reset parts of the US-China relationship. So this is a very critical juncture. And this would be the first visit to China by a US president in nearly 10 years. Since the West Asia war started, the Strait of Hormuz has emerged as a key point of contention, to say the least, even as the US has sought to pressurize Iran with its Hormuz blockade. After claiming to have decimated its army, Tehran has seemingly found a way to defy its objectives. And how? US President Donald Trump has continued to highlight the success of the blockade, claiming it has deprived Iran of daily revenue worth 500 million US dollars. The U.S. Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, claimed America's control over the Strait of Hormuz earlier. Listen in.
Sails from the Strait of Hormuz to anywhere in the world without the permission of the United States Navy. To the regime in Tehran, the blockade is tightening by the hour. We are in control. Nothing in, nothing out.
But is that really the case? This claim is far from settled, it seems. As per Axios, IRGC Navy laid more mines in the Strait of Hormuz this week. Prior to this, less than 100 mines had been reportedly deployed by Iran. According to this report, US officials claimed to have destroyed more than 90% of Iran's large mine-laying vessels. More than 90% of them, and mine storage warehouses as well. However, Iran reportedly still has multiple small fishing boat-sized Kashti vessels, which can basically carry 2 to 4 mines and drop them in the strait. The US is also facing a stiff challenge from Iran's asymmetric warfare with its swarm of small, fast boats. They were recently used to seize 2 container ships in Hormuz, and as per reports, they are now serving as the backbone of Iran's naval strategy. Owing to their very high speeds, these boats can carry out hit-and-run attacks without actually being detected in a way. Reports also suggesting that speedboats equipped with shoulder-fired missiles can pose a major threat to low-flying U.S. aircraft. Let's break this down further. Historically, naval blockades have been seen as a way to assert superior naval might, to put it simply. For instance, during World War I, the UK used its navy to force Germany into submission. From 1914 to 1919, it closed the North Sea and English Channel and seized all ships and cargo bound for Germany. The blockade, which ended in 1919 after the signing of the treaty, led to the death of over 700,000 Germans. During World War II as well, Britain initiated a naval blockade, remember, which drastically reduced Germany's access to seaborne imports. The 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis also witnessed a brief naval blockade by the US to prevent the Soviet Union from sending military supplies to Cuba. The US ended the blockade only after the Soviet Union agreed to remove its bomber jets from Cuba. As per CENTCOM, 34 vessels have been asked to turn around or return to Iranian ports since the Hormuz blockade commenced on the 13th of April. The blockade operations involve over 10,000 troops, more than 17 warships, 100 fighter and surveillance aircraft. Despite this, some reports suggesting that 34 Iran-linked vessels have evaded the blockade. 34. While Trump has ordered to shoot any boat planting mines in Hormuz and also directed minesweepers to triple their pace of operations, the US is yet to actually give out a clear timeline on when this waterway will actually be cleared for safe passage. Amid no meaningful uptick in the Hormuz traffic, Brent crude oil prices have surged to $104 per barrel. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.